with our people over here on X as well too. So shout out to all my people that's coming in on YouTube, guys. Definitely go ahead and click that notification bell. Definitely go ahead and like tonight's broadcast, share it, leave a comment. And tonight we got an interesting broadcast slash space going on tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about three issues in particular. Of course, everybody knows the situation going on with the illegals and now being able to carry guns. So we're going to discuss that tonight. We're going to also be talking about these Goon Squad cops going to prison in Mississippi. And then we had a video surface of this. I don't know if he was an Uber driver. I don't know if he was a Lyft driver. I don't know if he just was a regular cab driver, African brother, and he had a couple sisters in the background, and the video came in and him and the sisters was going at it. And, he said some pretty choice things about Black Americans. So we want to go ahead and discuss that. He was, he hit on the stereotypes about Black Americans as well too. And I just thought that video was something else. We shared it. I don't know if FBA Goddess originally had that video or not, but this cat here, he was going in saying all kind of effed up stuff. So we're gonna be talking about that too. What's up, DJ?
No, I was just saying it was definitely a Uber driver. It wasn't Lyft.
Hell, I mean, is it really that much of a difference? I mean,
well, no, not really. You don't want to get at the wrong company, just to get at them. But hey, I guess it ain't no difference. You're right. Blame both of them.
That's why I just put cab, because I didn't know if it was an Uber, it was a Lyft. I didn't know. It ain't like back in the days you just had the taxi companies in the actual cities as well too. But hey, either way, he was talking hella noise. I know that much, and he was. Yeah. You're using my tax to pay $1. I'm like, bruh, you just got over here. You still got an accent and everything else, and you talking about your tax dollar? Man, if you don't sit down somewhere, your tax dollar. Now you just got over here, and you hadn't apparently ain't been here that long, because you still had a real thick, heavy accent as well too. So I see my man Original up in here. Let me give a shout out to y'all up in here too. James, Chandler, Thias, Andre. Harpo, Sophia, Harpo, what's up? And to my man Original, I got to give Original a shout out. Nita, what's up with you as well too? Original, if you get a chance, I want you to co-host tonight as well too. Give our people a few more minutes to get in here, man. And like I say, these topics are really, really, really. I thought was gonna do a broadcast space yesterday, but I just figured we'd go ahead and do it tonight. I wanted to go ahead and load it up a little bit. So I feel like three topics. That's definitely, we're definitely going to be scratching something. Original, what's going on with you tonight? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You coming in nice and loud and clear. Shout out to my man Extreme X over there and YouTube land as well to Extreme. Make sure you guys go ahead and share out tonight's broadcast. So yeah, man, we got to go ahead. Original, I see you see the topic we're gonna be talking about. I don't know if you saw the video with the African cab driver. He was talking hella noise. So we got to talk about that tonight. We got to talk about the illegals and the guns, and we got to talk about the Goon Squad as well too. Mississippi Goon Squad. Yeah, we did a broadcast months ago about that Goon Squad too, man. We be doing a lot of stuff, and it's like I be forgetting like some of the stuff we actually be covering as well too. So.
Real quick, I actually went back and looked at that video. It wasn't the Goon Squad. It was the Bandinos from LAPD. This is a whole different set of gangster cops. This is a whole different set.
No, the one we did that time, though, we did do one on the Goon Squad in Mississippi too, though. When you go back,
This is LA though, right?
No. This Mississippi here.
Oh, the cops that just got recently charged, right?
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? They just did another report. I think they was talking about maybe Oakland or the Bay Area somewhere out there. They got a new Goon Squad of cops out there. You see what I'm saying? On top of the LAPD Bandinos, which is a police gang. And they target black people. So, yeah, there you go.
Well, on that note, I guess we might as well start off on the Goon Squad. This is from one of our curation partners, the Sacramento Observer.
When you get a chance, look that up. Share the room out, y'all. Share the room out.
Yes.
You know what's going on, big dog? How you coming tonight?
Oh, we doing real good tonight, man. How's it going with you?
So let me go ahead. And jump up into this thing.
Everything good over here, big dog. Just getting back in the studio just help the family member. They got a new house, so let's go on that one.
Yeah, my bad. I was talking. I had my mic muted, so let me go ahead and I'm sitting up here talking. I had the mic muted. Let me go ahead. This is from the Sacramento Observer, one of our curation partners. 6 former Mississippi law officers to be sentenced for the torture of 2 black men. 6 former Mississippi law enforcement officers who pleaded guilty to a long list of state and federal charges for torturing 2 black men will be sentenced by a federal judge starting Tuesday. Of course, this article came out a couple of days ago. All of them got their sentencing in and this and that as well, too, guys. So this article is a little dated by a couple of days. Could have went and found something recent on the site, but hey, I had this one already because this one here was getting quite a bit of traction. U.S. District Judge Tom Lee will sentence 2 defendants each day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday after twice delaying the proceedings. Each faces a potential of decades behind bars. The former law officers admitted in August of subjecting Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker to numerous acts of racially motivated violent torture. In January 2023 episode, the group of 6 burst into a Rankin County home without a warrant and assaulted Michael, Corey Jenkins, and Eddie Parker with stun guns, a sex toy, and other objects. The terror began on January 24, 2023, when a racist call for extrajudicial violence. A white person phoned Rankin County Deputy Brent McAlpin and complained that 2 black men were staying with a white woman at a house in Braxton, Mississippi. McAlpin told Deputy Christian Deadman, who texted a group of white deputies so willing to use excessive force they called themselves the Goon Squad. Once inside, they handcuffed Jenkins and his friend Eddie Terrell Parker and poured milk, alcohol, and chocolate syrup all over their faces. They forced them to strip naked and shower together to conceal the mess. They mocked the victims with racial slurs and shot them with stun guns. After a mock execution when Jenkins was shot in the mouth, they devised a cover-up that included planting drugs and a gun. Sounds familiar, don't it? False charges stood against Jenkins and Parker for months. Ahead of sentencing, Jenkins and Parker called for the stiffest of sentences at a news conference Monday. It's been very hard for us, Jenkins said. We're hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. Jenkins suffered a lacerated tongue and broken jaw. He still has trouble speaking and eating. Malik Shabazz, attorney representing both men, said the result of the sentencing hearings could have national implications. Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker continue to suffer emotionally and physically since this horrific and bloody attack by Rankin County deputies. Shabazz said a message must be sent to police in Mississippi and all over America that the level of crime conduct will be met with the harshest of consequences. Months before federal prosecutors announced charges in August 2023, an investigation by the Associated Press linked some of the deputies to at least 4 violent encounters with black men since 2019. They left 2 dead with another with lasting injuries. The officers charged McAlpin, Deadman, Hunter Elward, Jeffrey Middleton, and Daniel Opdyke of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department and Joshua Hartfield of Richland police officer. They pleaded guilty to charges including conspiracy against rights, obstruction of justice, deprivation of rights under color of law, discharge of a firearm under crime of violence, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. Original, let Brother Moku up here. I see he's requesting to come up here. Most of the lawyers did not immediately respond to emails requesting comment Monday. Jason Kirschberg, representing Opdyke, said Daniel has accepted responsibility for his actions and his failures to act. He has admitted he was wrong and feels deep remorse for the pain he caused victims. On the federal charges, Deadman and Elwood face a maximum sentence of 120 years plus life in prison and $2.75 million in fines. Hartfield faces possible sentence of 80 years and $1.5 million. McAlpin faces 90 years and $1.75 million. Middleton faces 80 years and $1.5 million. Opdyke could be sentenced to 100 years with a $2 million fine. The former officers agreed to prosecutor recommended sentences ranging from 5 to 30 years in state court, but time served for the separate convictions at the state level will run concurrently with potentially longer federal sentences. The majority white Rankin County, just east of state capital Jackson, home to one of the highest percentages of black residents in any major U.S. city. The officers warned Jackson and Parkins to stay out of Rankin County and go back to Jackson or this side of Pearl River. Court documents said, referencing an area with high concentrations of black residents. In the gruesome crimes committed by the men tasked with enforcing the law, federal prosecutors saw echoes of Mississippi's dark history, including the 1964 killing of 3 civil rights workers after a deputy handed them off to the Ku Klux Klan. For months, Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey, whose deputies committed crimes, said little about the episode. After officers pleaded guilty in August, Bailey said the officers had gone rogue and promised to change the department. Jackson and Parker have called for his resignation, and they have filed a $400 million civil lawsuit against the department. Yikes. I mean, they was up in here just torturing dudes. They just, Jesus, hitting people with stun guns, trying to kill them, trying to cover it up. Using sex toys on men, making the men bathe with each other, just humiliating them. Now you had some Peckerwood neighbor talk about they was living with a white woman, so they went ahead and made these calls and got all of this in motion. Now this is Mississippi, man. I remember in the mid 2000s, Mississippi was still having segregated high school proms there. So everybody's talking about how much Mississippi's changed and whatnot. Mississippi ain't changed a whole hell of a lot, even though a large percent of that state is black. A lot of the black people still, they're still a little bit leery of everything that goes on there as well, too. That's one reason why they try to strip power from Jackson, Mississippi as well, too. So this here made national news. Hopefully, we know they're not going to get no $400 million civil lawsuit. So it'd be interesting to see how much they actually settle for. One of the people, like, they're still having physical problems speaking and talking. A couple of these guys, I'm sure they're still suffering nightmares and everything else as well, too. So, plus, these guys was involved in all kind of other assaults and crimes and everything else as well too. So they just been going rogue down there in Mississippi, which ain't exactly surprising. That's we got Brother Moku up here. Brother Moku, what's going on with you, man?
What's going on, Toter? Original DJ. Yeah, this was very disturbing story. We had the space on it a while ago, and I'm gonna tell you the thing that's really suspicious real time is that the lawyer Malik Shabazz just suffered a heart attack. I would say, I don't think this is by mistake. I think they're trying to get rid of him specifically due to this case. I don't know if anybody heard, but he was recently hospitalized, like within the last week or two, had a major heart attack. And we know just from history and other spokesmen that try to speak up against the system of white supremacy that they do things like this. They will induce a heart attack or a stroke. So, we might want to look a little bit to protect Malik Shabazz, the lawyer, because it's not a coincidence that they tried to attempt on his life when his clients are going for such a high, a high reward, high settlement, basically, and they deserve it as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they were tortured, and this is just inhumane.
All right, thank you, Brother Moku. Original. I know I got you up here as well too. And like I said, we had a space on this months ago when this stuff. It might have been back even in January February when this stuff started coming out. I know we had a space on this as well too. But original, what's your feelings about this? And I'll definitely go ahead and we'll touch up on the illegals with the guns and everything else as well too. But I definitely want to hear what you got to say about this, and anybody else up in the space as well. You want to speak on this? We're gonna be touching up on 3 topics. But if you guys want to come up here and speak on it, feel free to raise your hand and we'll get you up here. But what's up, Original?
Hey, what's interesting is, one of the guys said that he forgave the psychotic person. I'm like, at some point, people, we have to understand there is no forgiveness for these people. Dr. Bobby White, if you started reading some of our scholars who were psychologists and psychiatrists, they identified these people to the T. Like Dr. Bobby White said, they are neurotic, psychotic, and they're psychopaths. There's no hope for these people. But one thing that's interesting is, when I heard the part about how they sexually assaulted the man, that seems to be a reoccurring theme with these people. Remember, when you have black skin, Remember Louima up in New York? The guy shoved a plunger up his rectum. They said, well, let me see. It's like, well, let me see what they can do with it. And perforated his colon. I mean, there is nothing that these people will not do. And the thing that gets me, I understand people can live whatever they want to live, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to live around these savages. That's why I moved into a black community. And I had people that ask me, well, why are you moving over there? I said, look, there's a lot of great black people in the area where I live. But I said, I do not want to live around my enemies. I don't want to be that close to them. You don't know whether or not you're going to come home and burn your house burnt down or what. Because these people, they are psychotic. There's no hope for them. And let me see what's up. Oh, yeah, there was another incident whereby here in Atlanta, they had stopped some guy. And once again, they sexually assaulted him on the street. They did a body and cavity search on these guys on the street. And I'm like, that seems to be a reoccurring pattern with these people. For whatever reason, white men have an obsession with the black male body. They have an obsession with that. And then as far as the drugs, they're always doing that. But see, when those white police officers brought Miss Catherine Johnson's house here in Atlanta, she was a 93-year-old lady who lived alone. Once they found out that they had the wrong house, they just did it for the help. They did it because they knew they could possibly get away with it. And then the same thing. They staged the scene, said that she shot them, and then they planted drugs. Once again, they planted drugs, and when the people started coming up saying, Miss Catherine don't sell no drugs, Miss Catherine don't have no company, they had to do an investigation and found out that they lied. But see, here is what's key and critical in a lot of these. Atlanta, the black DA at the time, looked at the situation. Now this was beyond egregious. But when he sentenced them, he gave them concurrent sentences versus consecutive to ensure that they don't get any time. They don't get any real time. And one thing that we have to watch out for is look at how they are sentenced. I know that one got 20 years and one got 17, but we have to look at how they are all sentenced, because it's like when these things go down, it's like, okay, we'll give you these two right here, but these other ones, they're not going to get the same sentence. So that's going to be really interesting to see how they do this. But the one thing that gets me though is that black folks, look at where you are moving to. I know, yes, we're supposed to have the right to live wherever we want to in this country, but understand, evil will never change. And when you choose to live that close to it, things more than likely will happen to you. And I think we need to, and I think especially our children, when they leave, whether they are living in the same state or they graduate college and decide to move away, we have to have the conversation about where you are living. Because again, remember that group from the 70s, Undisputed Truth. They had this song, Smiling Faces, their lies, they don't tell the truth. And we have to look at that and understand that, these people, they're like comedians. They come out smiling, and there are some of us who want to be accepted by them so badly, they'll just fall right on in and go along with them. So I just think that how these other guys are going to be, how these other officers are going to be sentenced, and like what DJ was saying about these police gangs. And see, and the other interesting thing is, I'm looking at this, it's not like the Democrats, that's where most of our people vote. It's not like they don't see this, but yet, again, there is no protection that is being set up for us. We're just out there for anybody to come in and do whatever. And see, then when we respond and we kick their butt or worse, then they want to say, "Oh, we should not have done that." I mean, do you see? I mean, if that's not psychotic, I don't know what is. I mean, it is insane the way that these people feel that we should allow other people to abuse us and don't say anything, just lean on your religion and everything gonna be all right. My religion is my response to this foolishness. That's what they is. But what's key is that I think we need to start kicking up some fuss about why aren't black people under protection? Why is it that anyone can come in and harm us, and the justice system look the other way? It's as if we don't matter, and they can come in, and they know this. They can just come in and do what they want. I mean, you look at how they approach us when an incident takes place. Just like what was that? Was it here we was talking about some guy? Where they called the police. This guy, he had mental issues, young brother, and they called the police, and the police shows up and get blown away. It's like they got this bloodlust and sexual lust when it comes to black folk, especially black men, and they don't want to admit it. I think it was in that book, The Delectable Negro, where it talked about how black men and boys were raped during slavery and they were cannibalized. And in the section of Frederick Douglass, where it talked about how he was raped. But the white scholars would say, "Oh, he didn't know what he was talking about." I was like, damn, he lived through this. But you're gonna say they cover up for one another and try to make it seem as if nothing happened. Because anybody that want to live around these fools, I mean, hey, I can't tell you where to live, but hey, that's not something for me. But I'll land with that.
All right, appreciate that, original. Thank you. And then not only that, like I say, not only did they did what they did to the men, but they had them up there taking showers and stuff together. Like, I mean, these people, like you say, it was like some kind of fantasy of theirs or whatever. I mean, just crazy. DJ, go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, I was just going to say too, when you were saying that the situation with the one brother, I can't think of his names right now. Excuse me, y'all, like half sleep right now. Long day, man. So the one brother that the cops, they didn't just hit him with the stun gun. One of those cops shot one of those brothers in the mouth. That's why his jaw's messed up.
Yeah, he got shot in the mouth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's something to really think about. He could have lost his life. Because when you think about, a bullet doesn't know anyone's name. And when a bullet actually hits something, the actual physical slug itself, it ricochets everywhere. And it depending on what type of slug it was or bullet, you talking about regular slugs. We call them we call them cop killers up here. But you know what I'm talking about, type slugs. Man, they got slugs that got like
talking about hollow tips and all that.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Uncle, shout out to B-More Codified. Hollow tips, aka the cop killers. That's what they call. You know what I'm saying? So, you got bullets on them nowadays that got like little mini detonators on it. You know what I'm saying? And the slug turns into it literally explodes and like turns into like a star shape. Most bullets when they hit, it stars out. But they got these ones when it hit for real, it's gonna star and just go everywhere, yo. So that's something to think about, man. This man gonna have internal damage for the rest of his life. And even if he do get better, and obviously we'll be able to speak later on, he might not even want to because he might be in so much pain. So So like you said, what's the sentence in original? They go get 1 billion years, hopefully, never see the light of day. Your body gonna be buried in a jail. But what is the compensation of that work? So just to flip it real quick to a reparations kind of talk real fast. You got these white folks up here, that be on our folks' pages. Oh, you knackers ain't getting reparations. Get a job, knacker. You lazy knacker. You know what I'm saying? Didn't we fight a war over this to free y'all knackers? What else do y'all want? But these white folks don't understand. Nobody asked y'all for anything. Nobody asked y'all for anything. And if you had any common sense, high IQ, since you're always saying the blacks have the low one, IQ, reparations is not coming out of anybody's taxes. There are federal bonds in place for that. How do you think they're able to pay these other nations, other folks that were harmed by the United States government? They got reparations because they advocated and worked on it. But hey, United States, you should have paid your debt when it was 40 acres in the middle, especially for Order 15. Now you don't compound it well over 150 years of interest. It's over. Pay your debt, man. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously you keep doing the same thing to it, so it ain't gonna never stop. But go ahead, though.
Yeah, let me go ahead and touch up on this situation with the illegals and being able to carry guns as well too. New York Post. That article is also up in the Jumbotron description on YouTube. It says Illinois judge rules illegal migrants can carry guns. A federal judge in Illinois appointed by President Barack Obama ruled that the Constitution protects the rights of non-citizens who entered the U.S. illegally after a Mexican immigrant living in Chicago was found in possession of a handgun. U.S. District Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman ruled earlier this month that a federal ban on undocumented immigrants owning firearms is unconstitutional and dismissed charges against Herberto Carbajal Flores, who was arrested in 2020 after violating a federal law that prohibits non-citizens from possessing guns. Coleman ruled that since Carbajal has no criminal record and the circumstances behind his arrest were not violent, he should not be deprived of his Second Amendment right to bear arms in self-defense, Fox News Digital reported. I don't know how an illegal person can have a Second Amendment rights, but okay. He was charged under Title 18 of the U.S. Criminal Code, which bans non-citizens from possessing firearms and ammunition or to receive any firearm or ammunition which has been shipped or transported in interstate or foreign commerce. Carbajal maintained that he purchased the firearm for self-defense and protection of property during the time of documented civil unrest in the spring of 2020 during the height of the George Floyd protests across the nation. While Coleman previously denied Carbajal's motions to dismiss the charges, he later asked the court to reconsider following the Supreme Court's decision in Goon, which ruled that New York's law against carrying a pistol in public violated a constitutional right, as well as several smaller court decisions that considered whether people convicted of nonviolent crimes can be prohibited from having firearms. Coleman then concluded that Carbajal immigration status was not cause to deny him Second Right Amendment rights, noting that the plain text of the Constitution presumptively protects firearm possession by undocumented persons. Carbajal has never been convicted of a felony, a violent crime, or a crime involving the use of a weapon. Even in the present case, Carbajal contends that he received and used a handgun solely for self-protection and protection of property during the time of documented civil unrest in the spring of 2020, Coleman wrote. Additionally, pretrial service has confirmed that Carbajal has consistently adhered to and fulfill all stipulated conditions of his release, is gainfully employed, and has no arrests or outstanding warrants. The court decided that since there is no evidence to suggest Carbajal was a danger to society, he should not be denied his right to own a firearm. In addition to him not having a criminal record, the court found no evidence to suggest Carbajal possesses a risk to public safety such that he cannot be trusted to use a weapon responsibly. Thus, this court finds that as applied to Carbajal, Section 922 is unconstitutional. Coleman wrote, the ruling divided gun right activists, while some argue the decision purposely blurs the line between the citizen and non-citizen. Speaking on the ruling on Hannity, Senate Intelligence Committee member Marco Rubio said that those on the left have long been trying to blur the line between citizenship and everything else, people that are here illegally. You almost wonder if this not been done to sort of mark both gun laws and also the whole understanding of the value of being a citizen of the United States of America, he said. Rubio added that if the line between citizen and non-citizen continues to blur, U.S. citizenship will lose its value. There has to be a distinction between citizenship and non-citizenship, between being legally here and not legally here. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly too, if you're not even a citizen, how do you have any, you have no Second Amendment rights. I don't even understand how that even goes. You're not even a citizen of the United States. You came here legally. And now you're saying that you have as much rights as an actual American citizen. Like, you don't have the right the right to bear arms is supposed to be for for American citizens. Like, if you're not an American citizen, you should not have the right to bear arms. Next, you can have the right to vote. You can have the right to do this and you can do anything that an American citizen, even though I'm not a Marco Rubio fan in the least bit, I'm sure Marco is probably a second generation immigrant himself, if not a first. But in that one aspect, what he's saying, I kind of agree. Like, what I mean, really, I mean, what's the difference between being a citizen and a non-citizen? If you can do everything that if you're an illegal and you can do everything that a citizen can do here in America, then I mean, what is it all about? What is it for? I mean, are you going to say that somebody that just got over here and came over here legally has as much rights as somebody that was born into this country that is an actual American citizen? So this is just, to me, this doesn't even make any sense right here. I mean, they're talking about violating the Second Right Amendment. Like, what are you talking about? This dude doesn't have a Second Amendment. This dude don't have any legal rights, to be honest here. If you want to be true about it. You go ahead, Rella, what's up? I see you came up here. How you doing tonight? I'm gonna get to you, Moku, DJ. Go ahead, Rella, you got it.
Hey, Newstoter. Hey, DJ. Sorry, guys, my not feeling my hottest self today, but I'm gonna try to, get to the points. African, cab, and original. Did I say hi, original? I'm sorry. And shout out to the space. Thanks. And shout out to the space. African cab driver.
We're gonna touch up on the African cab driver next, but yeah.
Okay. Illegals and guns, Goon Squad cops. To me right now, what's happening is they are really doing their best to put us or force a fourth class, and this is what Dr. Claude Anderson had talked about. And he talked about how they were going to make, put Americans into a lower class. And we're seeing it firsthand. I said it earlier in a post, and I said the reason why we have the issue right now with immigration is because white Americans continued to invade the country. They used the same template that they used when they carved those criminals onto Mount Rushmore. It's the same invasion tactics. Deny the existence of the people who live on a land, erase their identity, claim everything that was created is yours, and then make sure that you are able to provide, protect, and preserve, wash, rinse, and repeat. They are doing the same thing, and the only difference in this situation is they are utilizing the fact that they want a bottom class slave working free labor class. And I remember when Chuck Schumer had made the comment in an interview, and he said immigrants have always come to this country, and immigrants should be welcome into this country because they're willing to work. That was the comment even Biden made on stage when he was running prior to being elected as president, or stolen, however you want to look at it. When he made the comment, it was like, and then he was asked about reparations, and he went down the rabbit hole and started talking about immigrants. We are all a nation of immigrants. We're not all a nation of immigrants. You and I, the descendant community, are not immigrants. We didn't migrate from somewhere. We didn't immigrate from some other country. We have a lineage of theft, destruction that these other groups participated in, other nations participated in on a continuous basis. Even after emancipation, people were coming over here and claiming to be white Americans under the guise of white Americans, and they were Italian and Irish and Chinese and all these other different groups, nation groups, who participated in harms, lynchings, destruction of agriculture, theft of sharecropping land, right? So there's evidence of all of those things, but the only thing that you don't have an evidence of is them having any type of cultural, historical record of building up the nation. They've only destroyed it. They're doing the exact same thing now. There is no benefit that we see, imprint that we see of no other immigrant, not even the slave owners' children, of what they've built in this country. Not one. You can say, oh, well, they had geniuses, mathematicians, and things like that. Guess what? So did we. And those are the people they stole from, our scientists, our mathematicians, our architects. And then they denied them the right to benefit from it. That is a parasite. Those are leeches, parasites, and they're giving the keys over to another invasion group to do the same thing. But while they're doing it, they're trying to disarm us at the same time. When I tell you that this is bigger than Nino Brown, I am not playing. I'm telling you that we have to get serious about our demands, the people we need to put in representation. This is not, no, I'm going to sit on the couch and I ain't going to. No, this is, you need to figure out who it is that you can run interference in the midst of someone who is against your interest. And we got to get to a point where we are in proximity with each other, because it is game time, folks. We are in a real life massacre. And if you think you're going to get out of it with maybe the little that we know, you're wrong. Because there were people who came before us and they fought valiantly. And we're doing maybe a third of the things that they did. And now we know more than what they know. We need to make provisions. Because the difference is our imprints are here. Our bones are here. Our ancestors made sure to leave the crumbs, and we need to uncover them, expose them, and make sure that we are representing in the righteous way. And I land.
All right. Thank you, Rella. So we got my girl Trouble up here. Trouble, what's going on with you? How you doing tonight? Trouble, you there? You in the Matrix? Trouble might be driving. Yeah, I think Trouble, because she got her hand up, but she might be driving. Else Trouble would have came off her mic. So I think Trouble's stuck. Trouble, when you get a chance to, I wonder if we should drop her down so she could come back up here. Because I don't know if she might be in the Matrix or not. All right, Trouble. We'll come back to you then. Like I say, Trouble, I know she be driving at nighttime and stuff, so she may be in the area. She might have hit an area and kind of lost her reception. Hey, DJ, do you have that that video about the African cab driver on hand? Okay, DJ must have stepped up out of the spaces for a second too as well. Hopefully DJ ain't fall asleep, but all right. We lost Trouble. Trouble come back here. DJ, I'm not sure where DJ's at.
I'm here. Just, I will give suggestions on how to fix this app, but I would never say anything because I know they always listen. But I'm here, though. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to load it up.
All right. Trouble, can you speak? She got it?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. I just got home, so it must have switched over to Wi-Fi, and I couldn't hear you after Rella stopped talking. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Just stepping back inside the house. I'm flowing, acting a little crazy. Hope everybody in the space is doing well. Shout out to all of the speakers, Miss Brella, Brother Moo, Reginald, DJ. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the family and Black Travel in the space. Hootie hoo. Say whoop. Whoop whoop. You.
Gang, 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 gang.
So, shout out to Rello. Yeah, Rello pretty much summarized that very, very, very eloquently and nicely, better than I could put it. I'm going to put my own words on it, but might say something similar. All of the white folks in this country are immigrants. And so they want other immigrants to come in. We're also starting to realize that America is actually a corporation, and the corporations are the one who is pretty much running this country, governing this country. And so once that COVID thing pretty much hit in and the CEOs went to making millions, billions of dollars, that money hit pretty nicely in their bank account. They don't want to lose that. So they've streamlined it and figured out how they can continue to make that money and decided to go for broke. But we've always discussed a million times in these spaces how white supremacy prepares 10, 20, 50, 100 years in advance. So we were always going to be behind the eight ball on what's to come. We were always going to be. So, but my thing is this here. Because I've been thinking about it, and I've been tired of a lot of the conversations online, because I'm just really trying to spiritually get my spirit in a whole different space. And I'm kind of good on these immigrants right about now, because one thing that I realized, Tupac said it best. Now you got to watch your back, now watch your front, because here we come, gunshots to tut. Now you stuck. America's getting ready to be stuck because she's been watching her back for so long, which is us, Negroes to the back. She's been watching her back. And all of her proxies, her collaborators, is coming. She let the men through the front door, but she's not watching her front like she's supposed to be watching her front, because she's too busy watching the back. You're giving these immigrants the right to bear arms because you all are immigrants, and so you see them as you. So you're figuring they're your proxies coming to do your work. So yeah, you want them to have the same rights that you have because you're immigrants too. But you're not really watching your front the way that you're supposed to be watching your front, because that is going to be your downfall, America. I'm standing back and standing by, like Trump told them a few years ago. Because this is the thing. It's already too late to a certain degree, and I hate to sound grim. Maybe then that's my opinion. Somebody else might feel like it's not too late. I feel like it's too late. The only thing that we can do is start preparing. Get our houses in order. Sweep out our front porch. Sweep up our house. Get it cleaned up, and prepare. Because they're going to do what it is that they're going to do. Get your food stocked up. Get your weapons right. These immigrants are they've been in the plans and they've been in the works for a long time. Let's just say that. But it's also going to be America's downfall, because it's not going to work the way she think it is. We got all of these random people in that actually hates America. A lot of them hate America for destroying their lands, for disabling their countries, for giving them the need to leave their home to have to come here in the first place. You think they're really, all of these people are coming in with good intentions that want to work hard? That's that lie we've always been fed. And I'm so sick of seeing people online saying how hard these immigrants are working. Who don't work hard? But and then they say, well, the immigrants are doing jobs nobody else wants. Okay. If that's true, then I want you, because you say that, but go to all of these towns and areas where these immigrants are so-called doing the jobs that nobody else wants, and ask the town folk who used to do those jobs if they want those jobs or not. Because I don't believe nobody went and asked them people if they wanted them jobs or not. Oh, they wanted them jobs. They wanted to be paid properly for them jobs. Some of them were still working them jobs and not getting paid properly for them jobs, but you still found a way to get that immigrant coming in, that undocumented worker, $5-10 less than what you was giving that American worker. So then you turn around and say, oh, well, they work hard for a little bit of nothing. No, you made it that way. I live in the deep south. I live in the country. I done worked in the fields and seen Mexicans come in and move all us Negroes out the damn field. Why? Because you ain't gotta pay us. You can pay them a little. You can give them a little bit of nothing. You gotta pay us. You can get them the same thing for 100 of them that you gotta pay 10 of us. So yeah, you gonna go with the ones that you give $100 to 100 of them and they good, because you got 20 of them living in one of your houses. You might got 5 houses and you got 20 of them living in each. So you getting money back for the rent that they gotta live there. So you ain't gotta pay them nothing because you housing them. So yeah, it looked like they work hard, but also I can imagine anybody coming from a destitute country, a third world country that don't have nothing, and you come somewhere else and you're able to get something. Yeah, you gonna work hard because you hungry. I feel like we got to be made to be hungry again, and not necessarily hungry in the starving sense, but hungry in the sense of what our ancestors was once when they came from out of the killing fields, when they came from up out of the mud of slavery. They was hungry. They understood sticking together. We done been too Americanized. We don't understand sticking together no more. We don't know what it is, what it look like, what it feel like, what it smell like, what it be like. I'm not getting ready to sit on this app and complain about these immigrants no more, because it ain't nothing that we can do. The only thing that we could do is get our stuff, get our stuff together and move forward from there. And move forward from there. Because there's been a plan, but it's gonna backfire, and I look forward to the day that it backfires on America. It was something else I had to say, but I got my thoughts a little bit twisted, so I'm gonna go ahead and land, because y'all know I'm long-winded like a mug.
Wait, Trouble, before you land that video, tell Toter about that video that video you got of that immigrant calling for people to come and invade folks' home.
Oh yeah, I had heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that too. Like, yeah, it's people wilding here for real, boy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But Toter, another point is when you look at the laws, because they create the Constitution and they've created all kind of loopholes for themselves to be able to utilize in an I'm white and I say so way when they get into the court of law. So what they did was they created loopholes. So actually, when you look at the rules, the ATF says that while it is illegal for illegal immigrants to carry firearms, and another provision of these Constitution and of these rules states that if they have a visa or if they have a residence and a job, then they can legally own a firearm. So it is legal for illegal immigrants who are not citizens of this country to have a firearm and have their Second Amendment right, because of the way they skewed the laws. So they skewed these laws, they skewed them a long time ago, and if the Constitution was always written with loopholes in them so that they can utilize them for their benefit anytime they get ready to. That's why I say if the decks have been stacked against us for a long time now. We just starting to realize it. I'll land.
Thank you, Trouble. You ain't lying, because like I said before, an immigrant shouldn't have any constitutional rights. And I mean, if you're a legal immigrant, an illegal that came here, you shouldn't have any constitutional rights. You're not even an American citizen. So how are you going to have constitutional rights? That doesn't even make sense. But like you said, and we said it before in other spaces too, people want to talk about it's the Democrats, and it's both of them. And we said that before. Both of these parties have gone along and have allowed this thing to get to the point where it's at now. So they can finger point. You can go ahead and you can do all the little public stunts with the buses and the charter planes and all this, and you can drop this person off here and drop them off there. But both of you have taken part in this situation right here. That's why it's to the point where it's at now. So, Brother Mocha, we're going to get to you. I'm going to let DJ play this. I want y'all to hear this video, and then we try not to curse, but there is going to be some cursing on this video. It's a quick, like 2-3 minute video. I don't know if y'all saw it. It's up in the Jumbotron. If you haven't seen it, on the far left-hand side, but I'm going to let DJ play it for those that haven't had a chance to hear it. Like I say, I didn't want to have the cursing on it, but it's on the video. So guys, we're going to play it, DJ, let me know when you're ready to play it.
Yeah, give me 2 more seconds. 2 more seconds.
2 more seconds. Okay, you want me to let Brother Moku speak?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brother Moku. You got it.
Yeah, thanks for letting me speak. Shout out to everybody in the room. Original Newstoter again. DJ Rella, Trouble. Oh man, that's my girl right there. I'm gonna tell you, she picked one of the dopest rap lines, and I'm gonna finish it for her because I feel like it's relevant, and I'm power freezing because I'm not going to downgrade my language because of this is a codified space. So he said, "Forget the rap game. It's MOB. So believe me, we enemies, and we need to stand on that. We ain't got no friends. We the white supremacists. Yeah, we are enemies. So, and we going against our odds. By the way, you know, that is 100% what this is all about. The redressing and repeating. Rella is absolutely 100% right. What they are doing right now is they are furnishing these people with an economic floor. Does it sound familiar? Yeah, MLK said that. That's what he went down there to collect that check for. He told them, y'all furnish these people with an economic floor and not the victims. See? Not the victims of racism, white supremacy. Words are very important. I love Pac. Rest in peace to Pac, because he was right when he said that. But what a lot of us missed and what went over a lot of our heads is the enemy's part. See, a lot of us keep forgetting the enemy, the real enemy. So I will say thank you for having this space. I'm loving everything that I'm hearing. And you know, this is codified space, man. Thank you for having the space. I just landed
in. All right, appreciate that, Brother Moku. Let me read 2 comments real quick on YouTube. Extreme X said when talking about the situation with the migrants, he was saying wait till summer in Chicago, it's going to be Dodge City. And then Yo-Yo 103 says, and in the summertime, New York City is going to be Tombstone. So everybody's expecting an uptick of perhaps shooters and everything going on in some of these major metropolis throughout the country. DJ, what's up? You got it?
You want to read the other question or want me to go?
You say what now?
I thought you said you was going to read 2 questions real quick.
No, just 2 comments. It was just 2 comments, but yeah, go ahead so everybody can hear it real quick. This video was a trip here, man. Like I say, excuse the language because they are going to be there's going to be some language. I know we try not to get it in because we get hit on YouTube, but the only way to play it is just a quick 2-3 minute video. The only way to play it is to actually play it in its entirety so you guys can hear it. And I definitely want you to hear this back and forth between the cab driver and the actual customer as well too. So play it, DJ.
Sure. Yeah. So this lady, she's also a stage 4 cancer survivor. She's a stage 4 cancer survivor. Went over to her TikTok. So shout out to that sister. Shouldn't have to have put up with that abuse. That's really what it is, abuse. And he needs his tail whooped. And I hope that they catch him and deport him and Uber give him a fire. So let's go on this one. So this Uber driver dude disrespected his sister for all the wrong reasons because he upset that he didn't know where he going. And just I want to add a little bit of clarity real quick before I hit the play button. The other lady that was in the car, she right. The GPS isn't always right because I do deliveries for a living. I used to have to read a map when I was younger to tell the driver where to go. So Google Maps is easy to me, but it's always not accurate, especially when you're dealing with complexes and apartment buildings. It will lead you to a cul-de-sac, not even at your address or destination you're supposed to go to. So let's listen to this real quick, y'all. Share the roll on, y'all. Newstoter.
It's kind of blurred. At first, when it was coming on, it was kind of blurred.
Yeah, that's because she was actually caught it when she was talking, so it's just kind of her just already going in. So that's what it's gonna sound like. You might want to take your headphones out. I don't know if you got a speaker or whatever. Let me run it back, and I'm gonna try to turn it up a little bit because I'm playing it straight from Twitter. So hopefully y'all can hear it. And let me make sure I got my phone all the way up, just to make sure. Boop, boop. All right, let's go back. Shout out to No Taxation in the building. All right, let's try it again, y'all. Hopefully y'all can hear it. I'm gonna turn the volume up too because I got a little bit more juice on.
Keep it up, please. Keep it up.
I will.
Dude, keep it up.
I deserve.
Yeah, and you have to make it time.
That's what it's done.
And when are you going to get some fair plans? I've been in this car for 50 fucking minutes. When have you respected me as a passenger? When? I got in here and asked you, then you turned your music down. You turned this fucking shit up even more. Nobody should have to ask you that. Yes, I feel entitled because I'm a passenger. And this is your job. It's your job.
My car.
Be fucking professional.
Out of the car anytime I want to.
Guess what?
I don't work for
Then
anybody.
you do whatever the fuck you need to do.
I don't work for anybody. I work for myself.
Okay. Keep
No, I keep you out of this. My car.
Okay. Please see no way. Don't be putting me happy. Just go. Go now.
You like a man that's so entitled. Over what?
The next right.
Lazy ass motherfuckers.
Yes. Yep.
Don't get some job. You like to live on welfare. My tax money is taking care of you equally if you don't know that. Oh.
Keep it up.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
If you deal with other persons, don't talk that shit with me. I'll kick you out. I don't kick you out physically.
The first right.
My God. Crazy.
The first right, yeah.
See, I'm on the phone. I'm following the GPS, and that's what the GPS is telling me to do.
And I asked you while you were on the phone to make a left turn.
I am following the GPS, and I was
wrong. Right, the GPS is wrong sometimes. That's why I'm up and paying attention so I can tell you which way to go.
If you have different issues, I'm not responsible for it. If you have issues, I'm not responsible for it.
But please, Lord, pick a patient from the hospital. All this is not right. Please.
Think that's it, right, DJ?
Right down where there's construction and make it right.
Simplest is bringing into it. This one was no longer.
This is not. It is one way. You cannot leave it here. Enter here. It's one way. You go the other way. You cannot enter here. There's no road. Right there. Okay.
Hey, that's probably good, DJ.
Yeah, nah, that's it right there.
Yeah, so that's the context now. You know, the woman, from what we can understand, she's asking him to turn the volume down. I guess the radio. He got into it. He got upset. She's telling him it's his job, and he's talking about because it's his car, whatever. It's not his job. I don't think he understands what a job is. So she's trying to tell him it's his job or whatever. They're going back and forth. Of course, you know, the sister, I wish we could have heard how it started off from the beginning. She is cursing and whatnot, but he's also saying stuff. Who knows what kind of slick stuff he was saying as well, too. And he's sitting up here. First off, wait a minute. You sitting up here talking about your tax dollar. And like I said, when this space started before, a lot of y'all got in, you got a heavy accent. You just got over here not too long ago, my bro. What are you talking about your tax dollar? Your tax dollar, this woman's tax dollar is the reason that you over here. So you sitting up here talking about your tax dollar and everything and all this other stuff. Then you start going in, you're attacking Black Americans, talk about they're entitled, they're lazy, they're on welfare, get a job or whatever. Apparently, this Black woman's got a job because she's in your cab. She's catching, she's paying for a service as well, too. So just totally disrespectful. I see Quadez up here, Rella. Quadez, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on, Turtle? What's going on to the room, DJ? Everybody on the stage. How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing?
What's up?
What up? What up? Yeah, man. Hey. Yeah, that audio is super disrespectful. I'm actually got me a little tight. I'm not gonna hold you. Kind of got me a little tight. You see, this is how this is how almost all immigrants see us. One, the man felt some type of way because our dear lady had a simple request. We all take Ubers all the time. I can't think of. There's countless times where I requested for the Uber guy to put the air on a certain temperature or turn it on, turn it off. Don't play this, don't play that. It's been countless times, so it is their job. Shoot, they even ask you. Okay. Yeah, I understand that, when it comes to this whole political thing, especially regarding immigration, there's a lot of people who don't think we should do anything. We should just chill on the couch. But the way it's looking, man, and for people who know over here on the East Coast, the Northeast, Jersey, New York City, Connecticut, we know, we've been living with these people. We've been living with different ethnicities for a long time. And we know firsthand that they are anti-black. They will be the first ones, even before the white supremacists, to start going in on you for no reason. I understand people want to, chill out on the couch. And I've never voted for any presidential candidate before, but I ain't gonna hold you. I'm going Trump. I'm just doing it. I think I have to at this point, just to buy us a little more time and then see what happens after that. I'm not saying I'm Republican because I'm dead. Hell no, I'm not. But Trump does have a track record of, handling the immigration system before. Could he have done better? Yes, he could have. He could have gone after the owners, the white owners who was bringing them in. But, beggars can't be choosy. I got to do something. I'm going to yield there.
All right. Thank you, Quadic. Thank you, guys. Up in the Jumbotron, we have the Newstoter membership. If you have not already subscribed to the actual website, please go ahead and think about doing that. You can subscribe for as little as $1.75 a month, or as little as $1.75 a month. It's up in the Jumbotron, guys. It is the fourth on the right-hand side, I believe, in the middle. Definitely go ahead. If you have not, go ahead and subscribe to the platform. You can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter. Also, we have the PayPal and Venmo up in the Jumbotron. If you're here on X, for my people that's on YouTube, you can see the actual customer the actual customer link on the actual screen. If you have not created a membership there and want to support us monthly, you can do that by clicking that link and becoming a Newstoter member. That's also in the description as well, too. That's on the description here on YouTube. You can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. And the PayPal and Venmo is up in the description as well, too, guys. We definitely need that support. Support Black media, support independent Black media. Let me go ahead and get to Rella. Rella, what was your opinion about that video that you just heard?
So it was, I agree with what Q said. He was pretty much on the money. It was so disrespectful and distasteful because he's actually shuttling patients, medical patients. And the issue to me was he didn't have a problem with the other elder woman in the car who was also an immigrant speaking. He had a problem with the Black American woman that talked to him and was asking him to turn his music down. They're older women, and he has he probably had his country music, his countryman music playing, and it was probably loud. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like a bunch of noise. There's no soul in it. So when you hear it, it's like turn it down something, and he turns it up, and then he's on the phone talking, right, ignoring his customers in the car, and then she's trying to explain to him that the GPS is sometimes wrong, or and it does take you a longer route, and that's true. But the mere fact that he had no care, and that's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing. As a matter of fact, my sister-in-law, she just had a little one, and we had to get the nurse removed, or her family had to get the nurse removed out of her hospital because the woman was an African who was a head RN on the floor while she's going into labor, and the woman was being disrespectful. And she was like, she didn't understand why she was ignoring her pain, laughing and stuff. So, the mom called, was like, no, we're not doing this. Like, we gonna turn this hospital upside down if y'all don't do something now. You're gonna have a lawsuit on your hand. And these people are just as dangerous. They can be just as dangerous as who are not melanated. And we have to recognize that just because they are melanated does not mean that they don't share in a position of harm, because they look at us as if like we are hyperbolic, or we overreact, or because we don't somehow just deal with the things that we're given, then we are weak-minded, and that's not true. These people are dangerous. They're coming in here thinking that all they have to do is not say anything, put their heads down and work, and they're going to be ignored. But then turn around, and when stuff happens, they hollering about, well, why ain't nobody marching for them? Why ain't nobody speaking up for them? When that stuff happened, Botham John, the same thing. They turn around hugging the murderer in the courtroom. I'm telling you, we have to be vigilant about these things. They are in nursing homes. They're dealing with the elderly and harming them. That's a danger. That is a real time danger. And if you have someone like that man that was in that video, report him. Report them. Report them. Get them their license removed, something, because that should have never happened. And it should never, ever happen again at all. Because I'm telling you, if that was my mama, we would have found him. Forget about a video being recorded. We would have found him. And that's on GP.
All right. Thank you, Rella. Let me go ahead and get to Trouble. Trouble, go ahead. Original, I see you with your hand up. We got you too. Go ahead, Trouble. You got it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, and I had said it on Sister Taxation's post earlier. These people, and it includes these melanated ones too. You know, they're like white supremacists. They keep coming with these same old, used up, dried out, dusty talking points that they've heard somebody, white say, oh, you're on welfare, you need to get a job, you're lazy. It's kind of comical at this point that they keep using these same things. I'll get a job. She's actually on her job at the moment. But for some reason, you feel like your little Uber job is the creme de la creme. Probably because it's the best thing you've ever had in your life. You didn't have an Uber job in your country, and you're able to, get an Uber job here, and you're making a little bit of American money, and you're feeling good. So who's this lazy one that you speak of, baby? She was on her job. She was doing her job. You was trying to impede her job. Now, I'd be the last person to tell somebody not to cut somebody out, because I know how quick my tongue is. I know how sharp that bad boy cut, how deep it goes. My mouth ain't nothing. And Soda done made me have to totally switch flows up in the cut, because I can't cuss no more. And Lord have mercy. Ooh, look. I got to find new words to use now, Soda. But I appreciate that, brother, because I've been telling myself for a long time I need to, stop cussing every other sentence. But I do. But I wish the sister hadn't sliced him so bad in the beginning. But at the same time, I can understand where she's coming from, especially once he delved into the talking points, which he did. The same talking points that we have to deal with here for white supremacists. Baby, turn that music down. The same talking points we have to deal with from these crackers here. And for this brother to come from another land and to come here with these same talking points against us, it stings a little bit more. And it's a little bit more irritating. And they wonder why, because they always say, well, why do you all have so much smoke for, the melanated foreigners and you don't have it from, for these white supremacists? We got the same smoke. It comes a little bit different when, it hit a little bit different when we're talking to them, because we haven't been talking to them for very long with this type of smoke. We've been handling them with kid gloves for a long time. So now, the gloves is off and we handling them in the same manner that we handle the white supremacists. We just make it stick a little bit, because sometimes you got to hit them a little bit harder. You might not get it as easily. And you're so arrogant with it when you're saying, you're lazy. Oh, yeah, you're using my money and you're on welfare. No, actually, when some of you all come over here, not all of you, but when some of you all come over here, you get a whole lot of benefits. That's basically welfare to help you get a leg up. And it's a very distasteful thing. I've experienced it with a few and I had a bad experience for the first time here in South Carolina some years ago with an African cab driver. And he wanted, I had my children with me. He wanted me to put my bags, and I didn't have but about 4 or 5 grocery bags, but he wanted me to put them in his trunk so he could charge me the additional $10 for using his trunk. And I wasn't going to use his trunk and give him an additional $10. So he wanted to put me out of his cab. And so we're arguing, sitting there about, you not getting ready to put me out this cab. I done paid my money. I got my kids in here. You're going to take me home. And it took another African who just happened to be in the vicinity to come out, see us arguing, and quell the argument. And he talked to him in his language and said something to him. And he piped down. And then he offered to pay for the cab ride home. And I declined. No, thank you. I don't need it. I was heated at that moment. But it's a very distasteful thing for them when they are dealing with us specifically. They don't talk to us like they do the white people. So when I hear our sisters and our brothers and sisters inside these spaces sometimes get upset with other ones of us and say, well, why do you all speak to them in that manner? Hell, they speak to us in a manner that they don't speak to when it comes to the white folks. But you want us to continue to handle them with kid gloves. No, you're going to get the smoke. You're going to get this work. You're going to get overworked, because you're going to start to understand and get it. You're not no special Negro over here. So, and I'll land right there, but it is vexing. It is a little bit irritating. You keep hearing them with these same talking points like the white people, like it's arrogant. And it's the arrogance that sting a little bit more. Oh, you need to get a job. She on her job, fool. The reason why you getting paid right now is because she got a job, because she own it. So that's a little bit curious. It's a little funny, and it's a little aggravating and irritating. I really want to punch him in the face with the phone, but I can't.
Thank you, Trouble. Thank you. Very I'm glad to hear all the difference of opinions on this as well too. I definitely got to hear what Original's got to say. Original, what was your opinion of that video you just heard?
Well, I look at it this way. There was a time, like I said, I come out of the Pan-African so-called movement. And there was a time when I would have invited some Africans to live in my house, thinking that, that was when I was into the flat blackness. But today, as they say, oh, hell no. See, what we have to understand, what I found out that a lot of these people, they are brainwashed by the white supremacists. They operate under a white religion, be it Christianity or Islam, and they are given negative information about us, but they don't have their minds are not complex enough. It's like a badly punctuated compound complex sentence. They don't have the wherewithal to come and ask us what's going on. See, we'll go to them and ask them what's going on. Say, hey, why do you let them do that? Why is it? But they don't have that mindset. In their mind, the white people are good and we are bad. Because when we look at what our great ancestral scholar, what they told Malcolm X, when he tried to get them to work with him, they told him what? We got our own problem. So they've never been an ally to us. It has always been us. And so they allow themselves to be fed this lie about us by saying that we don't have a culture, that we're lazy, we have all these opportunities. But what they fail to realize, just like when our people fought for civil rights, and it was not, civil rights should not, it wasn't based on religion, national origin, wasn't based on sex, and the only race that it was based on is black folks. But yet, they flipped the script. Once they got to the table to sign the deal, next thing you know, it's based on race, sex, national origin, age, and all that. That wasn't who was out there fighting for that. That was our people. But yeah, we get out there and do all the grunt work, and everybody else, and then they want to say that then they threw that word in minority. So all these other people coming in who have not suffered, but they get those benefits. And these dumb, stupid, backward Africans, I don't care who's listening, don't like what I'm saying, or who may hear this and don't like what I'm saying. At this point, I no longer give a damn. Because I'm not going to sit up here and allow you to disrespect us, especially our women, and think that that's okay. Because hell, I've seen the videos of how they treat women over there in Africa. They are not treated well. They follow the dumb, stupid, backward religion to the T. And they subjugate their women. And if you think I'm not, just go out there and watch some of the videos. See, the Pan-Africans gave them this illusion that we didn't have that Black Americans didn't have a culture, and that they still maintain their culture. Oh no, hell, our culture influenced that. Like I said before, when Fela Kuti came over here in 69, and he got with some of the black people, they said he was playing Black American jazz. But when he left here, when he came here, his music was called Afrobeat, singular. But when he left here, it was called Afrobeats, plural, because of what he learned from our people. But these Africans, they don't have any respect for us. And as far as welfare, when these white folks give them these benefits that we fought for, they say, whoa, why are you doing the African American? What can't they sit up here and do? Why they going to do? They must be just lazy. Oh no, see what happened is, just like I said earlier, when we go to use those benefits, they put up all kind of obstacles in our way to try to prevent us from getting the benefits. And so, but that's part of that divide and conquer that the enemy has in place to try to keep us separated from each other. But like I said, if they can't understand that, then they are more than below stupid. Because it's like, and I think what we should start doing ourselves is, when we see these little weird looking names, like if you're taking food for, or you're taking a ride share, if you see this weird looking name on this black person, cancel that and go to the next one. See, when we start making the block hot for them, their attitude is going to change, because they see they're not getting that money. Whoa, they canceled it. Well, they canceled it, but they got for me. I get to do that by name. See, just like how, remember when the topic was hot about when they was first attacking us, and then when people started calling them out by the flags they were waving on their profile. And if you notice, a number of them now, they no longer wave those flags, do they? Because but the beauty behind that is a lot of people, they screenshotted a lot of their profiles so they know who they are. And I think the same thing should be done here, because this is what happened is when you allow your enemy to tell you about someone with the same color skin as you, of course they're going to tell you a lie. See, we know better than to do that. Apparently, they haven't mentally developed in that way yet. Because, like I said, if they could tell Malcolm X they couldn't align with him, you already know they have no interest in aligning with us. And I think what people need to do is, as somebody said, go after him and let them know. Because at this point, I'm done with them. You know, now I know it's not all of them, but they need to get their coons in order. Because if they don't, hey, those coons are going to catch you. But just understand, people, we do. And let me say this right here. If you haven't seen this guy's video, go to YouTube, type in JT the Big Tigger Figure, whereby he talked about how basically all this movement to Africa, it is a scam. It is a scam. And he talked about how he would be out there like they entered into a business arrangement. Then the next thing you know, they come up and say, "Oh, the law have changed." I'm like, we're like, what? And he is getting ready to drop. He's getting ready to drop a Benjamin on their ass, on their butts. He's gonna drop a Benjamin on them because in the video, he showed where he had multiple external hard drives with documentation on it. And see, they would come at him like, "I'm gonna Pan-African this." No, ain't nothing. That Pan-African thing is nothing but a scam. That's all it is. And I just say, people, if we start directing our dollars away from them, and they start seeing how much money they are losing because of us, even if their lives do change, leave them alone. Because we already know that they've already been warped by the enemy, and they don't want anything to do with us. And let me say this: I thought, rideshare drivers, I thought they wasn't allowed to play music and stuff when a person when a customer get in the car. So that's interesting right there, because like I said, these people are something else, and we need to stop taking our dollars and paying them. Because that benefited, as Trouble said, she got her job. That benefited from our money. So we need to take that from them. Do to them what they're doing to us. But see, in our case, we can see clearly, and we know what the enemy. We know the enemy is neurotic, psychotic, and a psychopath. So we know that they following that. That's what they're following, and we need to just leave them where they are. Because like I said, but I heard a number of them talk about Social Security and Social Security and unemployment help. We paid into that. Dumb fool. See, they don't have stuff like that where they come from, and they are struggling. I'm talking like they are struggling. But they can look at us, and then they want to sit here and dump on us. Oh, no, we're not putting up with that. We don't care what you say. I'm going to land with that.
All right. Thank you, Original. Appreciate it. I see Reraw, you up here to speak too. So just raise your hand and I will get to you as well. Definitely let me go ahead and get the Quadir. Quadir, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, what's going on? I definitely agree with Original in regards to where we should allocate our funds. If we can help it, let's just spend our money with each other. If we can help it. If you can't help it, just go to the already established big companies. These mom and pop stores, don't route them. Do not route them, because as we can see, they're very anti-black American, anti-foundational black American, anti-freedmen, and they'll take your dollars, do what they want with it, build their communities up with it, and still shit on you, and they're taking your dollars. Makes no sense. It makes no sense.
We're all watching the language.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. It makes no sense at all. Additionally, I want to say that most of the people in the diaspora, but you know what? Immigrants in general, whether they be from South America, whether they be from Eastern Europe, whether they be from Africa, they know we're not a threat. And they know we are smart. They know all of our capabilities and the things that we can do. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be trying to leech off of us and scam off of us with all of these black and brown and all these Pan-Africanist things. I think there is a deep-rooted jealousy I think there is a deep-rooted jealousy when it comes to all these people And we could also look how they treat black people in their own homelands. Even places in Africa. If there's some Africans, they're all just as black as us. But in some of their homelands, in some of these countries, they're considered white there, and they'll kill other Africans that are quote supposedly darker than them. These things still happen. Look at the Hutus versus the Tutsis. If you look at South America, they got Maharano Arasa. I was just going off with someone from South America a little earlier today. And if anybody's seen my Twitter feed from a few days ago, me and Rachel Bo were going at it with a bunch of Dominicans. I'm off of this. It's just a lot.
Black, Bobby, black. Black, brother. Black.
Bobby, black. Dominican. But yeah, it's really it's some sort of weird self-hatred, white worship thing that's going on, and we just gotta call it what it is. I think the quicker, the sooner that we realize, like, hey, this is their sort of religious disposition. It's like some weird religious self-hating disposition that people have, and we just don't have enough time to get people in line and tell them what it is. I'm not with it. It's like, yo, I'm bored by now. Like, I'm just going straight up, you're an enemy. I'm not trying to educate you. I was about to curse. I'm going to start crapping on your homeland, and I'm attacking the juggler, and I'm attacking where you're insecure the most off rip. It's no time for games anymore. And not you.
All right. Thank you, Quadir. Hey guys, we still looking for somebody. We still looking for at least one membership to the platform tonight. We still ain't got anybody to join up tonight. Like I said, the link is up in the actual Jumbotron. Same over there on YouTube, guys. The link is on the actual screen. We're looking for somebody to join up and become a member to the platform, support us, help us to continue to grow. So we're definitely looking for somebody in tonight's space broadcast to go ahead and join the actual platform. Also looking for somebody to support us or donate on Cash App or PayPal or Venmo as well too. Y'all already know $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Let's see if we get a couple people to join the platform tonight, guys. Let's see if we get a couple people. We got a couple people in here already that's part of the platform, like Original and Just Cakes. So let's see if we get a couple more people to go ahead and sign up as well too, and try to join the platform with us as well too. I see we got Rera up here. Rera, what's going on? Go ahead and unmute your mic. Somali against Pan-Africanism. I'm going to get to you. I know your phone be really low, Somali, so I'm hoping we can hear you a little bit clearer tonight because you be really, 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 really low. But go ahead, Rera. You got it.
Hey, Newstoter. Peace and blessings to the space. DJ, Brother Moko Trouble, to No Taxation, Bella, the whole fam. Hope you guys are having a great night. I had the pleasure of hearing myself on Newstoter's YouTube a couple of nights ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was screaming, I need to calm down. Sometimes I'll be overly passionate in Newstoter spaces. So I got a couple of talking points I'm trying to hit. So as far as like the immigrants and this government thing, right? It's like Black people are oppressed all over the globe because of their governments, right? And they're oppressed everywhere. India, Mexico, Venezuela, everybody who is of darker skin hue is oppressed. We carved out a way to make it okay over here, and it's not even okay. It's not even where we want it to be. It's not even where we want it to be yet. But we carved out a way over here, and they're just like, it doesn't matter. It's like the talking points. It doesn't matter. They have the same talking points, just like white supremacists. Go back to Africa. After you go back to Europe, you know what I mean? It's the same talking points over and over and over and over again. And that dude in the car talking about you're entitled, you're on welfare, or I pay taxes to take care of you. Look, bro, my family's have been paying taxes into this country. You could never pay as much taxes as me and my family have paid. So don't come at me about taxes. Ever since I started working at 14 years old, I've been paying taxes. I've paid in. Okay? But how dare they? Welfare for real? Like, I totally agree with Original. I think that in the event that you do have to take an Uber and you see someone like that, I think that you should cancel the ride. Because why put yourself in a situation to where you might have to deal with something like that? And at this point, we just don't know. We don't know if something like that is going to happen. We just don't know. And I just don't want to put myself in a situation to where I have to run down somebody because I asked them to turn down their music while they're performing a service for me. You're performing a service for me. I'm literally paying you right now to take me somewhere. And you're going to tell me that I'm entitled and lazy? Yeah, I just wish that we had more information on old boy because I can't get a hold of Uber or nothing like that. But something needs to be done because that was completely out of pocket. And I just feel for I feel for my sis, But you see how she quieted down once he started talking. Because he just talked himself into a hole. He talked himself into a complete idiot. And he deserved that. So, thank you for allowing me to speak, Ms. Twitter.
Thank you, Rira. And Rira, I wanted to go ahead and compliment you. That's a very nice profile picture, very classy, very cute. So I definitely like your profile picture, and I say that respectfully as well too, sister. So that's a nice profile picture you got. Let me go ahead and get to Somali against Pan-Africanism. Somali, are you over there in Africa, or are you over here in the States? Where you at?
I'm in Toronto, Canada, sir.
Oh, Toronto. Okay.
I'm not in Nagesa, right? But I just wanted to say that this is a great space. I was listening on the YouTube, but I wanted to come on the phone. So what I just wanted to say about this African cab driver, this gentleman was disrespectful. He had no manners. He was on time. That lady, that Black American sister, and her West African aide who was helping her, they were paying him. How is this guy acting like he has his own independent business? He works for Uber. He's an employee. He should be written up, man. And I got his card number, and I sent an email to Uber and their support program. I'm like, bro, this is unacceptable, man. And what is he talking about? Immigrants take so much welfare out of the system, man. You know how many immigrants have done welfare scams? The most famous one are Somalians in Minnesota. What the hell is he talking about? These fools are crazy, man. And all this guy, and all this does, it just proves that Black Americans who push delineation are correct, man. Because how can you build with people who have hatred for you, man? You have all these panties saying that, but we need Africans to increase the Black American numbers. What, you need guys like this? Get out of here, man. This is foolish. And I'm happy that I wrote that man up. I reported him, and I want everybody to report that driver. I don't want him to work in America. He can work in his country. I'm serious. And call ICE, bro. I don't know why so many Black Americans are afraid of calling ICE. Listen, bro, I'm going to tell you the truth. I've called ICE on many immigrants, even my own Somali people, okay? You follow the law. Don't do illegal stuff, man. Stop with this no snitching policy. Yes, snitch on these illegals, man, and these immigrants who are disrespectful. Call Homeland Security, man. God damn, that video broke my heart because that sister did not deserve that whatsoever. She's coming from chemotherapy, man, and he had the gall to talk to her like that, man. I'm serious. He only talked to her because she was a woman. If that was a dude, he would get knocked out, bro. I'm serious, man. And that's all I wanted to say, man. Write that dude up, man. Peace.
Thank you, Somali. Somali, you come through and you be saying some stuff, so I definitely have to go ahead and give you that credit. One thing I will say about the video that was so crazy is that online we hear all the time about the back and forth between the diaspora and everything, and people saying, well, in real life you don't really see that. This is just online and this and that or whatever. This video is floating around right here, and I don't see a whole bunch of people, coming out to refute this. Oh, well, it does happen. It happens a lot more than people actually say and actually talk about. So people sitting up here saying, well, this don't happen, that don't happen. This is just only online. This is just only on Twitter. It's only on social media and this and that or whatever. This dude has some real content in his heart for black people. For him to come up here and say something like that, and like everybody mentioned, Rella and DJ, everybody mentioned that the woman was actually, battling stage 4 cancer and everything else like that. This up the black American woman is up here doing her job, trying to get her there. You're always told in business that the customer is always right. Okay, if you're a driver, a chauffeur, or whatever, and somebody says, you know what, can you turn the air conditioner down? Can you roll the window up? Can you not smoke in the car? Can you turn the sound down? Then you go ahead and you do that because this is a paying customer. So for the fact that this person, he actually got upset, started speaking loud and this and that or whatever. Now, had that video been reversed and you had black Americans talking about going back to Africa and insulting him and this and that about it, you'd have a bunch of spaces on X right now talking about that situation, about how xenophobic black Americans are. Yet this person, against talking to women, one of them elderly and sick and everything else like that, he's talking to the black American woman. First thing out of his mouth, like Leroy said, he's talking about taxes. Now, you sounded straight like a white man. First off, your tax dollar didn't build this infrastructure. So let's not get cute here. You just started contributing. I don't know how long you've been here. You might have been here for 15, 20 years or whatever. You might have been here 30 years. But your tax dollar is just not contributing. Don't sit up here and tell people who've been holding jobs and been paying taxes and stuff like that. Like I say, most of us have had jobs since we were in high school and middle school and everything else like that. Don't sit up here talking about your tax dollar, dude. You got an accent that's heavy and thick on you as well, too. You're just not getting off of that boat not too long ago. So don't sit up here talking about your tax dollar and lazy black Americans and entitled and this and that or whatever. Let's not sit up here. And that's the main issue I have sometimes in this space here when we do have the discussions about the diaspora. I try to remain as neutral as possible. And I'm sure sometimes even, I'm coming off as biased or whatever, but I try to remain neutral. I try not to stereotype a whole group or whatever. I'm not going to sit up here and say all Africans, all Caribbean, all people in the diaspora. I'm not going to sit up here and say that because I know all people in the diaspora are not the same way. They're just not. I've met too many people to know that they're all not the same way. But the issue is that a lot of times the people in the diaspora are not standing up saying stuff about this right here. We go in, it's a reason in Black American history, you have terms like Sambo, and even though Uncle Tom has been misused, it's still a term up there as well too, even though it's been misused and not used the way it's supposed to. But you got sellout, you got Uncle Tom, you got house nigga, you got all of these, you got more of these in the actual Black American lexicon and any other probably diaspora for being a sellout. Black people sit up here and they will go ahead, and if they feel like another black person is brown nosing and just sitting up here kissing behind, they will say stuff about that. You don't get enough of that, I feel like, in the diaspora. Like this dude sitting up here talking about, he's talking to the women like that, and then all of a sudden, it's one thing if you had an argument, but the next thing you do is you take this and you start to paint every black person. You're sitting up here talking about black people. Most black people ain't on welfare, dude. I don't know if you think this is 1964 or something like that, but most black people ain't on welfare. Most black people work. So to sit up here and act like, we're unemployed, we're on welfare and all this other stuff, I don't know who put that in your head, but whoever told you that told you a damn lie, because that's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. So this guy was just up here just saying stuff that he had heard other mainly white folks say, and he felt at ease using it. And like I say, I don't see a whole bunch of comments saying, hey, you know what, he was wrong and this and that. I saw a significant amount of comments saying that he was right. I saw a bunch of people sitting up here talking about he was right and he was telling the truth and this and that or whatever, because this is the way a lot of white folks in this country feel. And then you have other minority groups that feel the same way as well too. So don't sit up here telling us about your tax dollar, man, about this and that or whatever, because you benefit being melanated from the suffering that black people went through in this country. So, and Quadir, let me give a shout out to you as well too. Quadir just became a member, so shout out to Quadir. I see that you just signed up, Quadir, so shout out to you, man. Let me go ahead and kick it to you as well. We're not going to keep the space open too long. For those that want to speak, come on up here and speak, because we're not going to keep it open too long tonight. We'll be closing it out soon. So if you want to speak, definitely go ahead and come up here, request a microphone, because we're going to be closing it out soon. Let me get the quad in. I'm gonna get the re-raw.
Yeah, Toter. I can definitely second that. We won't want to cast a blanket on all of diaspora to say that they're all like that. But however, there's just too many with the nonsense. It's just too many, and the fact that the fact that they like to talk their crap and try to gaslight us the way that they do, like how this guy did here, is beyond ridiculous. And also, don't let them. You mentioned it. I know nobody in the room does, but like in general, for us, don't let them say it's just an online thing because they pop that they talk their crap in person too, as we can see in the video. I mean, I can remember 2 accounts recently that happened to me. And there was a couple a few years ago. One account, I was in a mosque right on a Friday. Some of you guys might know the story. I was in a mosque on a Friday, right? It's basically a Black American mosque, a foundational Black American mosque. There was this one guy that came in who was Nigerian, right? If he didn't let me know he was Nigerian, I would have never known, honestly. So I'm ready to bounce, right? And that Friday, I was a little dressed up. I was a little spiffy. I had on a nice little button up that day. This man asked me where I was from. I told him I was from here, like how we all do. I told him I'm from here. He's like, where your family from? I said somewhere in the South. This man was like, no, like where you from before that? I said, I don't know. And I was like, why? He was like, because you don't look like the rest of these Black Americans. You look like a proper Nigerian. When I tell you I was dumbfounded and I was stupefied, I'm like, yo, what do you mean I look like a proper Nigerian? I was actually speechless because I came mad left field. It's just straight up ridiculous, man. And like you guys said, I forgot who it was. We got to understand that it's just a disposition that they have against us. It's jealousy, the whole nine. I mean, listen, man. They see all of our accomplishments. They know the things that we've done. I think we should really just call it for what it is. I think once we do that, we'll be able to handle this a whole lot better and be more efficient with it. And I yield.
All right, thank you, Quadir. I see we got Just Cakes up here, and I see we got along with Reraw, and we got No Taxation. Let me go ahead and get No Taxation. Reraw. Let me go ahead and get the Just Cakes real quick because I know she's got the little one, so she may have to run. I'm gonna get to her, and I'm gonna get to you and No Taxation. But what's up, Just Cakes? I know you got the little one, so I'm trying to squeeze you in.
Thank you, Newstoter. You already know. I got him in the room real quick. But I just wanted to say, just state the obvious. Africans hate us because they ain't us. To keep it a buck. Whereas they always say no culture, this, that, and other. They want to talk down. It's not hard to see that how the slave trade came to be. Because they such nasty people. They nasty to each other and everything else. The only time they have self-pride about what country they came from is when they sit in somebody else's country disrespecting the natives. So these Africans, they come over here with these nasty dispositions and stuff like that. And when they come down to it, all the times that they roll their eyes and smack their teeth and they speak in French or whatever other colonizers' language, now we know how they really feel and stuff like that, which I appreciate that. But as far as what I seen on that video, that was completely disrespectful. And I ain't never seen it to that extent in Chicago, and I hope to never see that. I will hope that that we are still about our business here. But that's what happens when these people go unchecked for so long.
when you got people out there that's just willing to believe that just we are lost people and all this other stuff. We not lost at all. We know who we are. When it comes down to it, we know how to come together and get things done. So I'll just chop it up as that they really legit hate us because they ain't us. Most of the women didn't know how to wash they private parts until they got here. So we showed them, that's not natural to be smelling like that. Okay. They didn't know how to grow their hair until they got here. Anytime you see them, their standard of beauty is to look like a Black American woman. They don't walk around looking like where they from. Because up until they started migrating up over here, all of them was walking around looking like 12-year-old boys with titties. Okay? So I'm not going to be petty. And I'm not going to stretch that because I am with the way by myself. I always appreciate you, Newstoter. And thank you to everybody else, y'all. I'm going to just drop down the listener. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Jess Case. Cloud Nation Media, you said he's over on YouTube. You said no Twitter Spaces. The Twitter Space is going on right now. So I don't know if you could find it or not, but it's going on right now. That's we stream the actual space and the YouTube together, so it's going on right now. Cloud Nation Media. Let me go ahead and get back to Rerod, and I got you no taxation as well too.
Thank you again for allowing me to speak, Newstoter. I just want to say really quickly, during the State of the Union, me and my stepfather, we got into like a little bit of a dispute. Now, he's from Jamaica, right? And he disclosed to me that night, he was like, a majority of immigrants, especially melanated immigrants, are jealous of Black people. And he was like, because they think that you guys have everything and you have all these opportunities and you're just dwindling them and you're just not taking advantage of them. And I told him, I said, the reason why we have these opportunities is because of the things that we've done in this country. We have toilets because we invented them. We have ironing boards and air conditionings and all of these things because we invented them, and so that was just like right out of the horse's mouth, and no matter how much, it's like they say that we don't know who we are. No, we do. We know who we are and we know who y'all are. We're not missing on current events. We're not missing on things that are happening in the world, even before social media. We still knew what was going on in Africa enough to fight or try to do something in this country to stop apartheid and all of the other things that were atrocious happening in Africa and any other place, Haiti, wherever. You know what I'm saying? We were capable enough to demonstrate out here that we didn't like it. So I just don't think that there is a coming to, because they're just set. They're set in their minds. They're set in, how they feel about us and how entitled, they think we are. And it's not that we need to teach them anything. They need to learn our history because we know theirs. We know theirs. We know their history. We had to learn it. They need to learn ours. And until they too be this sensation, they're just going to keep on going back on these same talking points that they were given, which is keeping them from getting out of the situation that they're in right now in their home countries. And it's really unfortunate that they're stopping us, trying to stop us on the precipice of what we're about to get done. And it's like, at this point, it's like either get down or lay down, because we got to run through everybody right now at this point. We can't stop momentum. We don't have time to do any of that. So it's get down or lay down. And that's everybody. That's all immigrants. That's everyone who's against us, because clearly we're all we got. And I'll land there. Thank you for allowing me to speak again to her. Toter. Peace out.
All right. Thank you, Rera. Let me go ahead and get to No Taxation. No Taxation. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, but I sure did get tickled when Just Cakes came up and told the people that it's not right for them to be smelling like that. Lord have mercy. I hit the floor and it had tears in my eyes. I tried to get ready. I had to go get water and everything. How you doing, News and everybody in the room? DJ, Original, Bella. Hope y'all are good. And for the people in the Northeast, brace for the weather.
How you doing, big sister?
I'm doing good.
Hey,
And
you try to take it in real quick.
All right.
Bad weather is coming y'all's way, so buckle up. I'm gonna take it one by one, but I'm gonna start with the thing that hurts me the most. And it hurt my mother. We watched it together. I tried to maybe drown it out. She turned the TV up. I tried to overtalk it. She wanted to hear. She wanted to hear. She wanted to hear. And I thought about it. How long can she continue to hear these stories? The Goon Squad cops. How long do we have to go through this? Yes, they got a prison time. I don't think it was enough, but hey, I'm not the person who passes out the sentencing. But how long do we have to go through this? See, it never should have happened, And these are demons, and they roam the earth seeking those whom they can devour. We're there. That's where we are in this country. It's a hot, wretched mess, and these people have been getting away with it since forever. So that kind of broke me a little bit this week. Illegals and guns, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I think it's still up in the air. I don't think anything is solidified yet. We're going to see Chicago is the place for us to keep looking at that, to see what they do there. The African cab driver. Okay, here we go. Back in y'all know I'm going to go back now because I done lived, I done had a journey. Back in 1981, 82 or something like that, we were, young in D.C. In those days. And it might have been the late 70s, I don't know. I used to hang out with a couple of friends, and they were legal secretaries, and we used to go to the Howard University bar parties. So when the attorneys graduated and they got barred, they would throw a party every year, and we used to go. Just to hang out, not doing nothing, nothing serious, just hanging out. So we get in a cab, and of course we have an African cab driver. And so we tell him where we're going, and he's driving, and all three of us are sitting in the back. We're not thinking about anything. We're talking about, just regular stuff. And if anybody has never been to DC, it has a lot of circles. What is that? There, you drive around the circle, and within that, outside of that circle, there are different streets, and you just turn on the streets. So there's probably like 4 or 5 streets you can turn on each circle. I don't know if we were at DuPont, Thomas. I don't know where we were, but we were at a circle. And he stopped his cab and said, here we are. No, we told him, no, you need to take us to the other side of the circle, because crossing a circle navigating a circle on foot is no easy feat. You got to be ready because cars are coming all the time. And so we said, take us on the other side of the circle. He refused to do so. We said, you better take us on the other side of the circle. We're not going to pay you. He refused to do so. And like clockwork, all three of us took our shoes off and started hitting him in the head because we were sitting in the back, and then we hopped out the cab and ran. We didn't pay him. But I say that to say that this has been an ongoing problem. Well, you don't do what you do. You know what I mean? Now we go get the upper hand, and because we had to go on the other side of the circle. But I say that to say that this has been an ongoing problem in this country since forever. This is not anything new that you guys are going through. They've always been this way with us, especially the Nigerians. Please understand, Europeans call Nigerians the roaches of the world, the cockroaches of the world. That's what they call them, and they have called them that for many, many years. And to think about it, they are. So why do they think that they can just come over here and speak to us any kind of way, rule over us? And this guy talking about, I work for myself. No, you don't, baby. You's an Uber driver. And you probably got your car from Uber. Come on, let's talk about what's real. We know what it is. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't think that you hot stuff because you driving an Uber. That ain't nothing. People drive Uber every day. Cabs too. So, all of that bravado and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure why the lady stayed in the car, because I felt like maybe she had to. She didn't have a choice, and that, that's a problem. But after she asked him to turn the music down, she should have immediately started putting whatever you put on the Uber to say that this man is crazy. Don't get in his car, and I want my money back. Because it's all electronic. She should have gone through the motions, and she didn't have to accept all of that. It's time for us to stop accepting everything that comes our way that's negative. We cannot do it. We're fresh out, fed up, at the end of our ropes. That's what we have to say. That's what we have to be, and that's what we have to do. And if we don't get that now, we're going to be in a world of trouble. Don't sit in a car with somebody who's berating you and talking bad about you. Take your shoe off and hit his ass in the head. Oh, excuse me, News. I'm going to leave it there because you're going bad about that stuff. I'm going. Bye.
All righty. Thank you, No Taxation. Anybody else wants to speak real quick before we get ready to close it out for the night? Let me know. Come on up here, because we, like I said, we're gonna close this thing out here in just a second. Rella, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thanks, Ms. Turner. So I was going back and forth with this. I just tagged you with Melina Abdullah, and so she's apparently a professor at Cal State. And again, I do believe these Pan-Africanists, and I'm not going to say all, but a lot of them really, really don't understand how harmful they have been to the Black Americans when it comes to recognizing conditions of harm, social, emotional conditions of harm that come from other groups of people, immigrants, not just melanated people. And so they participate in gatekeeping and keeping that stuff up because they ignore that culturally and that, nationality and ethnicity, we are all not the same. They want to blanket this conversation, and original, brought that up. It's the, it's kind of like the implicit bias, but in a way where, well, we're going to provide grace for these people because they behave differently. They're from the motherland, or they act a certain way. And I always think to myself, well, people from the motherland, you would think that they actually hold themselves in a higher esteem and have a little bit more grace. But no, that's not the case. It's us. We hold ourselves in high esteem. We are the ones that offer and provide grace and love in the room for people to learn how to live in humanity. We usher that into conversation. The revolutionary discussions came from out of America, from the Americans, Black Americans, the Negro population. So when you have someone like the elderly who are in harm's way, and the guy threatened to kick her out, he was like, I could put you out of my car right now. And shout out to the Somali brother, because he was like, that was a chemo patient. He had no wherewithal, and all the lack of humanity, melanated. So the Pan-Africans position on what genocide looks like, who commits genocide. No, I'm sorry. We are literally facing people who have contributed to what genocide actually does and impacts us in a way so bad that it keeps us in positions of bottom class. It keeps us in positions of maybe not getting a promotion or being hired because people have a disdain for the Black American, the descendants in this country. That's what that looks like. That video and what he was saying is a true depiction on, if we wanted to talk about globalization and how harmful other groups can be, that was a depiction of it firsthand. And people who are in this country who are also descendants who practice Pan-Africanism, it's not that you practice Pan-Africanism in your belief system. It's the mere fact that you ignore that there is harms that are happening you are not addressing. And that is an issue, a huge problem. And I'm laughing because no taxation to my no issue. But on real talk, that's one of the protected class status issues that we have to get on the books. When we talk about the descendants having a protected class status, we have to get right with that language and making sure that that is something that even the Black majority state represents, because we need it. We are deserving of it, because the people who have come to this country are literally, they're almost like zeroing in on us, because they keep saying, y'all, we are 13% of the population, which I honestly believe that we are a larger percent of the population. But how do you conquer a group? You erase them. You start to paint false narratives. You coach them to leave a nation that they only know and go somewhere else, and make them believe that they are meant to be somewhere else. Out of the pot into the frying pan, that is the mode, that is the move. And we have to stop it. And I land.
Hey, yeah, Ray, if you did, give me 1 second. I actually want to read some from, I'm not sure, Total in the building or whatever, maybe.
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I sent you something in the background real quick too, Total. So, yeah, my bad, y'all. It's been a weird ass week. You know what I'm saying? And I messaged the sister, Keyshawn. Well, you know, that's the backside. I would say that is the bad word of it. You're right. You know what I'm saying? Gluteus maximus. It's been a gluteus maximus week, sister. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, I forgot I even messaged this sister, Kishana. That's her name. That was in the Uber. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. So she messaged me right back, and I ain't even go back to look at the phone until just right now. It just dawned on. So hopefully I guess she catch the replay. But just to read a little excerpt from what she wrote in the video for those that didn't go over to TikTok to look at it. Today has been my worst experience ever in an Uber. Right after my radiation treatment, this driver picked us up from the hospital. I spoke to him and he barely spoke back, but that's cool because you don't have to speak if you don't want to. He turned his volume up in the car. I asked him to please turn it down. He barely touched it to turn it down. I then put in both my AirPods and could still hear the voices from whatever he was listening to, which wasn't music. It was like some type of podcast or something like that was going on. So during the ride, my aide and myself almost hit our head twice on the seats in front of us from him having to slam on the brakes because he was driving reckless. Later in my ride, my aide then asked him to turn the volume down and explained to him that I was not feeling well. And at that point, I told him that this was the worst experience I had ever had him in an Uber. He dismissed me by saying, come on, as if I was exaggerating. After a long day of treatment, I just wanted to relax on the hour and 10-minute ride home and was unable to even close my eyes because I feared that we are going to get into an accident the way he was driving in rush hour traffic. He then, hold up a minute, where we at? Rush hour traffic, where we at? He then received a phone call from a female. They were speaking in their language and he had the volume high. During the call, he called me a MFer. I almost said it, Dad. I was going off the sister's words verbatim. You know what I'm saying? He called me an MFer and then threatened to put us out. This man was disrespectful to me and my aide on so many levels today, and he put our lives at risk. He even went on to talk about how Black Americans are entitled titled "And Lazy MFers." To the rest, you can't hear in the audio. I really wish I would have hit the record a lot sooner. So yeah, hour and 10 minutes, they was in the car going at it. So imagine what we did, as the sister just said. So I'm most definitely reporting him to Uber. I hope that this man never picks up another passenger. Hashtag Kishana fights against stage 4 cancer. There you go. And that's KISHAUNA, fights against stage 4 cancer. All one word together. Kishana, KISHAUNA, Kishana fights against stage 4 cancer. Kishana fights against stage 4 cancer. That's her hashtag, so go and retweet that.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and let Ray. Ray, you're going to be the final speaker for the night, then we're going to close it out for the night. So go ahead, Ray.
What's going on, everybody? I'm going to be real quick. Told I wanted to get your opinion. It might be too late, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts on what I call the reinventing of Candace Owens. I don't know if you saw it, but today Candace Owens.
After space, Ray, let's go, man. Joe Budden's Jersey.
Candace Owens did an interview with the Breakfast Club this morning. And basically, to me, it seems like, again, she's trying to reinvent herself. They were asking her all these different questions about hip-hop, things like that of that nature. They had her singing The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And they asked her a very basic question, which if you spend any time in black church, you know what it is. When someone says, God is good all the time, God is good, you repeat it. And she couldn't even get that right. So I don't know, I just wanted to see, get your thoughts on the reinventing of Candace Owens, and also let you know down in El Paso, the migrants actually stormed the border, and the National Guard was almost shot a couple people. And Rella, I'm sorry too. I want to apologize to Rella. She know why.
I saw the I saw on the CBS Evening News that they were they had tried to storm it and then they got checked in place. Candace Owens, I really don't have much to say because Candace Owens, she's gonna pretty much go whatever the win is. She's trying to stay relevant. So I know she kind of had a falling out because they checked her a couple months ago. They checked her on something saying something about Jewish people as well too. So Candace Owens, she's gonna pretty much go as the wind blows, pretty much. But I saw the thing with them actually, like you said, Ray, with them. It's getting to the point because I was watching that today. I said, well, damn. I say, so they just gonna force their way into the country, huh? I mean, like they just gonna force their way into the country. But things are getting serious down there in Texas, and we're gonna probably hold a space on that as well too, coming up as well too, because it's getting really, really, really serious for real. Ray, go ahead. I'm gonna let you say something, and we're gonna close it out. But go ahead.
Sorry, I forgot to add this when I was speaking earlier. I want to ask if you have seen, I guess, the promotion going around for they're redoing Good Times and they're making an animated version.
I heard somebody say something about that, but I didn't. To my knowledge, aren't they also didn't they release the documentary for the Freaknik on Hulu? Has that come out yet? Is that coming out tonight or something? Or
I believe it's out. I've seen some people reacting to it, so I have not seen it, but I do believe that it's out.
It's out.
It's out.
Shout out to the liquor store. We're holding that space on it tomorrow. Freaknik gang.
Okay. I know we did a few months ago when they was talking about making a documentary. Last year we did a space on the Freaknik, so may have to cover that a little bit as well too. And I know a lot of people were sending tweets out about people, mamas is nervous and stuff. But hell, let's be for real. Some people, grandma. So a lot of the women that was in at Freaknik had kids right after Freaknik and stuff. Yeah, so you got a lot of them that's got grandkids now. So let's be for real. If you were at that age in the early 90s and you got pregnant, more than likely your kid damn near 30 and could be 30 and probably didn't have kids. So a lot of those women at the Freaknik are actually grandmas now. A lot of them mothers and stuff too, but a lot of them actually grandparents. So
a lot of kids about to realize they Freaknik babies.
I'm so glad I grew up in a time period when we have hoardings like that for real. Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, some of these men need to be a little bit nervous too, because down there doing some jank things during some of them years, brother.
Maury said I ain't the daddy, so I ain't the daddy. Maury said I ain't the daddy, so I don't know, sister.
Brother Moku.
I'll be real quick. I appreciate Ray for mentioning that Good Times. I think that would be a disaster. I think that would be a repeat. I don't really think the show Good Times really did anything positive for the black family. It was written by a white supremacist, so mimicking that as a cartoon definitely wouldn't better our situation today, nor our children.
And if you've seen it, Brother Mocha, if you look at the little stills that they put up, you'll see that they got James, this big overweight dude, in Florida, and what is her name? Natalie Bernie.
Tell her Thelma. Thelma.
I can't think of her name. Thelma and Michael actually have blonde hair.
Right. No, that's why I said this is going to be a disaster. I wouldn't even doubt it if Michael or JJ is sexually confused in this cartoon.
Yeah, I think they should just leave. I think some of the stuff they keep remaking things and stuff. I think they remade with the Fresh Prince and it's called Bel Air or something. Some of the stuff I think they should just leave alone, leave in the eras that it came out with, and be original and come up with some new stuff today. Don't try to copy. One thing I will say about Good Times, even though Good Times was in the project, and like you say, Brother Mooka, it was written by white people, but let's be for real. The vast majority of those shows in the 70s and 80s were written by white people, whether it's the Jeffersons, whether it was Sanford and Son, the vast majority of them was written by white people. I will say at least that with Good Times, you did have a strong father figure in the house in terms of James. And I mean, and I know a lot of people didn't really like, and like I say again, let me close this space because we're talking about Good Times, but a lot of people didn't like Florida's character because they felt she was too much of a goody-goody to get them out the projects. But, they did have, whether they was in the project or not, they did have a sound and strong family structure as well. To the thing, a lot of things that pissed the black people off was when they killed James off the damn show. That's what got a lot of black people upset about it too. It was like, hey, okay, so you're gonna take the father figure out on this show here, but them being in the projects and everything else like that. So I think that's what bothered a lot of people. Of course, I wasn't alive to see Good Times when it came out. I saw it on the reruns and stuff like that and everything. But it was what it was. But they don't need to make a remake of it, and they certainly don't need to make no damn cartoon original. Go ahead, and I'll let you be the last speaker for the night. Then we're gonna close this thing out for certain.
I just want to say that there's a video out there. I can't think of his name, but it was a black guy who wrote Good Time. And as Brother Muko said, the white supremacists, they stole it from him. I think he wrote Good Times and the Jeffersons, and they stole it from him. So we need to keep that in mind too. And I would just say, if what is, I hear what the people have said about what they've said about this animated version. I think we just need to start a campaign and just say boycott it, don't watch it. Make sure it doesn't get any ratings and let it go into the ground because it is going to be worse. Because see what they're doing with this animation, you have to see what type of things they introduce into animation character. And what it does, then they want to translate that over into reality. So we have to be very careful about what we allow children to see because, as I said earlier, the white supremacists, they are neurotic, psychotic, and psychopaths, and they will do anything to disrupt us, and I'll land on that.
You're 100% right. I just want to add this. When you find black people on TV, they either gay, in an interracial relationship, or living in complete dysfunction, so don't trust them.
All right.
Exactly.
On that note, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close.
Last thing that, hey, Richard.
Real quick, go ahead, real quick, because I want to close this out.
I know because we're talking about Good Times, so I got to get it in. The brother's name is Eric Monty, and the other dude, the white guy, stole that from him. Straight up stole it from him, and he was fighting that for years and years. He got his credit now, but it's too little too late. The show's over and done and all this other stuff. So it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing that happened to our sister Sophia Stewart, created the Matrix, Terminator series, add it up, man. We the best, man. Go ahead, though.
Okay, guys. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close the space out for the night, guys. We will be back Monday, so everybody have a good weekend. Make sure you go ahead and become a member of the Newstoter.com platform. Y'all see me tweet out the actual link. Go ahead and join it. Ray and Quadir and Original can tell you how quick it is to sign up. Definitely go ahead and join. It's very affordable, cheap. It's little as $1.75. You can support the platform, guys. We need that support. We need that help. So think about it. If you don't have the money, the funds right now, think about it at least next month, going to next month. So we will see you guys. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Peace.
Taylor's gonna tell y'all come to the space. Peace.